Hi everyone, this is an update for May 29th. I'm sorry I haven't done any updates at all today. It's been a very, very hectic day. Um, so I'll try to just run through the day quickly. This morning's visit, there weren't any changes. He was still 100% oxygen on ECMO, um, still on propofol, in a complete coma, no respiratory efforts. At all. That's how they were keeping him. Did not speak to the doctor this morning. Um, then this afternoon's visit, I actually did end up speaking to the doctor, and uh, he said the plan was to start Mike back on heparin. So he'd been off of heparin uh, since I think it was for the scope or maybe even just before. I can't remember. Like one day is just running into the next, so I apologize if I mix things up. Plus, I'm really just overtired, as you all know. Um, so he'd been off heparin for a day or two. He had scopes to check the source of the bleeding. They, I think I mentioned, they found the source of the bleeding, and there was a clot they didn't remove, so they kept him off heparin for today, and hoping that that is going to be enough. But they started to see some clots and some fibrin in the ECMO, so they needed to put him back on heparin. So we're hoping with that that he doesn't start bleeding again. Because of the bleeds, and the ECMO, his hemoglobin levels were way down, like into the 60s. And so they gave him another unit of packed cells this evening, just before shift change at 7. And he looked much better. It brought him to, like, I think they said his hemoglobin was 78, or maybe it was 88. I don't know. Anyway, and he just looked much better. Like his color was better and stuff. So yeah, we're really just hoping that that bleeding stays away. And he's still on the antibiotics. So the things to look for is, sorry, I have to back up. So there's that. Then they weaned him from the propofol, so he had his propofol discontinued about 6:30 this evening, just before shift change. And usually I come back to the hotel at that point so that they can do their shift change, and then I go back at 8. But he was starting to wake up. But when I say wake up, I don't mean like eyes open wake up. I mean, you can start seeing his eyes moving a little bit. He closed his mouth. Like when they did the assessment, they induced a little bit of pain to see if he grimaces, which he kind of did. Not very much, but he's not squeezing hands on command or anything like that. So that's a good sign. And I wanted to be there, right? So to be familiar voice and that when he wakes up, so that he's not freaked out. So I stayed during shift change, and he just didn't seem like he was waking up as much as he did before. And he's back on 10 of Versed and 10 of midazolam, so per hour, and that's still pretty heavy. But that being said, he was at those levels before our profile and was actually nodding his head and squeezing and giving thumbs up and that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at. We need the bleeding to stay away. We need, I guess they're going to do a chest x-ray probably around 4 in the morning. It seems to be when they do them. And hoping that his airways look better. I don't really know what they've been sounding like. I haven't asked if I could grab a stethoscope and have a listen. I know the other day one of the nurses said he still sounds like a squeaky toy, so I don't know whether that was the other day or yesterday. And we need that infection to be gone or on its way out. He's still on the antibiotics, as I said. So that's where we're at. I'm really hoping it's the doctor, the kind of Russian doctor, Rushy McRusherson. um, it's his last day tomorrow, so then it's a new doctor on Monday. So I'm kind of hoping it's not going to be, he's going to try to rush to get things done tomorrow. Because my spidey senses are a little bit that it was just too fast, and that kind of contributed to the decline. There's probably a lot of factors, but I just feel like that was one of them. So that's about all I know for tonight. I called already once because I was worried about his right hand, because he was bringing it up before, and they had him restrained because he don't want him to decannulate himself. The nurse didn't want to believe me because this new nurse hadn't had Mike before. So I talked to one of the covering nurses when I called and said, hey, like, can you just please like keep an eye on that hand and maybe just put a restraint and not tie it, but just so you've got it if you need it. I'm just really worried about that. Like just loose so he can't, grab his cannula. But he's been, once he's actually more alert and you tell him and he can nod, I think he understands that, just don't be grabbing at stuff. But it's hard to say what, how it's going to be this time. I did tell him he's a gentle man and usually very calm. So, but sometimes the drugs can, kind of bring a delirium. So, I think that's it for Mike. So I'll know more tomorrow. And thank you to two very lovely, beautiful ladies that dropped a care package off at the hotel for me for the second time. Just thank you. I have been eating, I eat more when I'm with people, and so my daughter Iris has been hanging out with me and staying with me, and that's helping me to eat more. And the stir fry they dropped off is just, I need the recipes that these wonderful ladies, the food they've been sending to me, it's like just delicious stuff, and healthy. And I appreciate that, because burgers and just fast food is just not the thing. I still didn't bother to, well, bother. I didn't, still didn't really look much about the Vitamix. I really think that would be a good idea, not only for myself, but for Mike. My sister did buy me a Magic Bullet, but with the Vitamix, I can really easily whip up, a soup in just a few minutes by throwing in like my favorite carrots, cashew, ginger, and some water. I can make ice cream. I can make all sorts of nutritious stuff, and then, because I know that, for Mike, it's going to be a little bit of a process, and I think starting out nutritionally with packed, whole raw. When I say juices, that was one of the things about the Vitamix. It's not taking the fiber out, but it's still making a juice. But you're still getting all the benefits of the fiber and everything. I had bought one back in 2000. It's old and doesn't work anymore and doesn't have the pieces and stuff. But so again, I have to contemplate that. But that's a very expensive thing. But I think that part of the rehab will be an evaluation of nutrition, because he's going to need a lot of proteins and vitamins and minerals and just good foods, and to heal and to build muscle again and that kind of stuff. So again, I really have to contemplate that and look at possibly finding one of those. There was something else I was thinking about too. Can't think. But anyway, the direction I was going was thank you to the beautiful, wonderful ladies that send the great food. So, delicious food. I should get the recipes and post them here because I tell you, like, seriously, very tasty and highly nutritious food. And it doesn't hurt my stomach. So I'm, eating small amounts and trying to challenge my stomach a little bit every day just to put a little bit more in. And this doesn't sit heavy because it's mostly vegetables and stuff and so good. So thank you. Please keep sending messages to Mike. They have waned significantly. I'm still reading them, even though he has been back in the medically induced coma, but they're, bringing him out of that slowly, but they still want him to rest. They still, so I don't think they're going to bring him out too far, but he's a big guy, and I know on the 10 and 10, he was still quite alert before. So please send them because I think it's important for him to hear the voices of friends and loved ones, even more so now. And yeah, so I please very much encourage you to send messages, either the voice messages or messages for me to read to him, because they are very meaningful. And thank you for those who have, and all of your kind words. It's really appreciated. As you can see, I'm really tired. I'm starting to babble. So I'll cut it off here because this is the longest one. Stay safe and keep your loved ones close. Ensure that they know you love them. Get vaccinated if you haven't already. Oh, and I've been approached by CBC for another interview. Again, I've told them I will remain anonymous, please. I'm not sure what direction they want to go with it, but I'm hoping that the message they want to send is, just a little more of that important stuff, not the fluff. But we'll see. Again, everybody, thanks for watching this really, really long babbling message. Love you all. Good night.